All right, good afternoon. My name is Sean McGuire, and I'm the Executive Director of the Albany County Land Bank. It is 4:01 p.m. on Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. We're calling to order a meeting of the Land Bank's Governance Committee, and we're holding this meeting remotely per New York State Open Meetings Law. This meeting is available on the Land Bank's YouTube channel for listening and viewing. Today on the call, we have the whole committee participating, including Charles Toohey and David Rowley. We have staff joining us as well, Lillian, Lynette, Jason, and Shelby. The agenda was circulated to committee members ahead of time. It has a number of items, including the minutes of December 10th. Hopefully you've all had a chance to review those. Are there any questions, suggestions, or amendments to those minutes as presented? And if there are not, I just need a motion and a second so we can approve those.
I'll move to approve.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? None? All right, that motion passes. All right, we'll move into our new business. So with the loss of Juanita, we do have a vacancy on the board, and Albany County has referred Carolyn Francatella to us. I've included her resume in the packet there. We're being asked to consider recommending her back to the county legislature for appointment to the board. She would fill Juanita's term, which technically started January 1st, 2024, because she was a holdover appointment. And so she would continue on. She and Michelle would be the two that have full appointments to the board if she was to be approved. She is an attorney admitted to the bar after studying at the University of Buffalo, works for Greenberg Traring, is active in the community, is from the town of Bethlehem. I did just was out of curiosity. She is on the Bethlehem Public Board, the Bethlehem Library board as a trustee, and it doesn't appear that those meetings would conflict with ours. So we wouldn't run into any scheduling conflicts there. But do you have any questions about her that I could bring back and ask before the board's asked to consider her recommendation?
No, the resume appears to be impressive. And Sean, I imagine you've already talked to her about the time commitments for the land bank.
Yeah, I need to give her a phone call. She and I need to connect. I got her resume just the other day, so I just got her contact info. So okay. I'll connect with her between now and our meeting on Tuesday.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Right. Charlie, are you on board?
Yep, me too.
Okay.
All right, I'll prepare I'll talk to her and I'll prepare that resolution. Perfect. I just wanted to hit these pieces again, even though we had covered it already. We had no changes to the evaluations or the annual disclosure statements. So nothing that needs to be handled there. You'll see the board performance evaluations. Most everything was fine. There are some who, somewhat agreed or disagreed, but nothing stood out. Nobody reached out to follow up on their thoughts or comments. And the annual disclosure statements, we went through that and we didn't have anybody that identified a conflict of interest that we needed to review and discuss there. So that's all up to them to self-report. The other piece here on the annual statements, we are working through the reports that have to go to the APO. We'll present these to the full board, but for your information and consumption, we do have the operations and accomplishments reports. We just highlighted the closure of the South End project and all the properties that were transferred there. The progress with the Ontario Street project, which we don't believe they got their 9% tax credits, but I just want to close that loop with Larry Regan and his team that were interpreting the recent announcements as being that they were not successful, but I have not heard that they were not successful, nor did I hear they were successful. The Henry Johnson Boulevard project, we continue talking to our partners about that, and then where we are with the Flip the Block project, and that there were no material changes to the land bank, other than we did update the bylaws this year. The 2025 annual investment report, no changes no changes to that other than the dates. And then our 2025 performance measurements, we've updated that. I do just have to go back and you'll see 2 blanks there that I had last year. I just need to go back and just double check the numbers on. One was the number of applications received in 2025. I had a blank in December's number that has to be closed up. And then I just wanted to review, because between grants committed and awarded and applied for, I just wanted to make sure I had the 2025 grant commitment number down under our funding opportunity piece there. So that's the balance of the annual statements. Any questions on those?
Just go to the ABO, is that the kind of stuff you have to send them?
Exactly. Yep. Just the annual reporting to the ABO. And then the audit committee does the other side of it, the audit report. The other thing that we have in March is that we have the annual meeting of the corporation. That's where we select all of our officers. You know, I haven't heard from anybody that wants to make a change in terms of executive officers. And so I've kept those members the same. Charlie as our chair, Sam as vice chair, Natisha as treasurer, Joe as secretary. We did take a look at the survey results from members about what they were interested in or not interested in. And what I did is I slated those the best I could. The goal was to get people onto 2 to 3 committee spots. The exception to that is Charlie. I'm recommending that we slate you as an alternate across the board because you've been on all those committees in the past. But being an alternate reduces our quorum number, but also allows us to pull you up if we're falling short there. But you're welcome to participate and attend. There's nothing that would prevent you from doing that. So I'll go through them one by one, and then I can give you the counts as to where each member falls. But on real estate, I have Sam. He expressed interest. Michelle, she expressed interest. Mark's expressed interest and is currently on that. And then Charlie as our alternate. On our audit committee, Anthony, and you'll see I'm also adding chairs in because we haven't had chairs designated for the committees in the past. And I'd like just to be able to do that for organizational purposes. Sam on the audit committee. I'd like to leave a vacancy on the audit committee because we will have potentially Caroline joining us, and that would be where I would move her into. It's a good committee to start out with. On finance, our bylaws require that the treasurer is chair, so Natisha would be chair. Michelle in finance, Dave, have you in finance, and then Charlie as an alternate. And then on governance, David, still like to have you be the chair of the governance committee. Mark, Bob Semple, and Anthony Capice with Charlie as the alternate. So those are our established committees in the bylaws. Do you want to make any changes on any of the memberships there, or are you okay with how those are slated?
Nope, I got this today. It looks fine to me. I see community engagement. You got Mark, Bob Semple, committee chair. So yeah, no, Charlie, you're alternate in all of them.
Yeah, it's a way to get everybody else involved rather than me taking up space on all this.
Well, and the way it works out too, so Charlie, I won't count Charlie in because you get one of everything, but Sam would have 3 committees, Joe would have 2, Natisha would have 3, Mark would have 3, Anthony has 2, David, you would have 2, and Michelle would have 2. And that would leave 1, maybe 2 for our new person, depending on, and we have room because we allow for at least, I think it's 2 to 4 members of a committee. So keeping them in that 3 number with Charlie as the alternate that doesn't count towards the overall number gives us some room to adjust along the way. And then in the past, we've had the Disadvantaged Communities Committee. I'd like to modify that into our Community Engagement Committee. I have drafted a charter for that, so it's clear what they're doing. And then I think as they first meet, they'll establish what their goals are for the year. But the Community Engagement Committee is established to support the Land Bank's mission to foster equitable neighborhood revitalization and expand opportunities for residents throughout Albany County. The committee will ensure that the Land Bank's outreach, communications, and engagement activities are inclusive, accessible, and effective for all members of the community, especially those who have been disproportionately harmed by historic and ongoing public policies, private practices, and market dynamics that have contributed to disinvestment, discrimination, and distress. Membership on the committee is not necessarily limited to members of the board of directors, and the board may appoint additional members to the committee in such a manner that helps it advance this charge. So we got Mark as the committee chair, Natisha, Joe, and Charlie. This is a committee too, in just my conversation with Charlie, I've suggested could be a feeder for future vacancies on the board. So that way, when the vacancy does arise, we have somebody that's familiar with the land bank that has been engaged with us at this level. That if they were interested in stepping forward, we would have a bench
Okay.
to draw upon. And I know Charlie, you've had me, or you've referred somebody to meet with, and
Remember that?
what's that?
David Downer,
Yep.
remember?
Yeah.
Dave Rowley.
Yes.
Dave Rowley, I went to John Everly at the Community Foundation because they have this these classes for people of color to join boards. And so I said, well, show me some of these people you got. And so one of them is this guy, Dave Downer. I had coffee with him. He was really interested in stuff. And so Sean has a great idea of how we get him involved.
That is.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I think, if
Yeah.
we can get more feeders in, that's a great idea.
And Charlie, did he reach back out to you after I met with him? I asked him to email you if he was interested in, in stepping and getting more involved. And if so, if he has reached out to you and you want to move his name over here, I can also modify the resolution or work with Nicole to modify the resolution to make sure we capture him as well.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but send me the email and I'll follow up with it.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay.
So that's it. I've got on the agenda, the executive committee typically meets monthly. Governance, audit, and finance typically meet twice a year. Our real estate committee meets monthly, and then our community engagement committee, I think that we're gonna aim for them to meet quarterly. I think monthly is too frequent, but twice a year is too infrequent. So I think quarterly is gonna be our approach. That way we can report on what we're doing with engagement. And then if we're missing something, we missed an opportunity in the prior 3 months. We don't want to miss that. We don't want to miss that again in the next 3. And so that'll give us some opportunities to work together. So it'll be good because that, for me, that'll be another set of eyes and ears in the community that, with people that I don't maybe connect with or the staff doesn't connect with, that comes back to us. I think that's going to be a real positive development for us.
Good.
Sounds good.
All right. I don't have anything else for this committee. Do either of you?
I don't. How many, just out of curiosity, how many members on the board are we allowed?
We're allowed 9, I believe. Yes, I believe 9, and they all serve at the pleasure. It's kind of a funny thing because it says they have terms, but everybody serves at the pleasure of the county legislature. So a member can be appointed to a term, but a member could be also replaced during their term.
Understood. So if Caroline joins, is approved, how many will that take us to?
That'll bring us back to 9.
Okay, very good.
Mhm. Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, we like 9. It's a spot, so there are no ties.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
only that, but just to need 5 for a quorum, so that would be, good.
All right. And I think, Charlie, you're going to talk, I think at the next meeting, we're going to talk a little bit at the next board meeting, a little bit about, meeting notices and making sure that, people are responding back to us so that we can get a good head count. Because we did miss that February meeting. And we're really trying to avoid that for a while to come. So we can, yeah.
So the diplomatic dressing down.
I was just saying a reminder of just to let us know, but we'll go through if people need us to give a demo of it. But with the notifications and Outlook, as long as you accept a meeting and you put it on your phone or your computer, that way we know you're coming. So
Okay.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, that's it. I don't have anything else. If you're all free to go, we can stand adjourned at 4:16 p.m.
Okay, Sean, Charlie, tell everybody.
All right.